have been given the responsibility to talk on ezetimibe, and as you all of know, ezetimibe is a grossly underprescribed molecule and medicine in the lipid management, and it has been overlooked and overshadowed in the hype of statins. However, ezetimibe is a wonderful, useful molecule in day-to-day practice, and it has been observed that numerous, landmark trials have proven time and again, beyond doubt, that lower the LDL, it is better. So as low as 30 milligrams of LDL, it is best. If it is up to 50, it is better. And, if it is 70, it is acceptable in some situations, but in any case, a LDL level of 140 and above or 190 is really bad. So this has been proved beyond doubt time and again by various landmark trials. So, and there is some difference between the guidelines put forth by European Atherosclerotic Society and ESC and Lipid Association of India. For secondary prevention in very high risk patients and LDL reduction of more than 50% from the baseline, or a LDL goal of less than 55% is recommended by ESC. Whereas in Indian scenario, this level has been brought down to 50 milligrams %. So this is the chief difference between the two guidelines, Lipid Association of India and ESC. Now, some concepts have been revised by the European Society in 2019, and for secondary prevention in very high risk patients, an LDL-C reduction of more than 50% from the baseline and an LDL-C goal of less than 55 milligrams % is recommended. Those patients with ASCVD risk who experience a second event within 2 years while taking maximum tolerable dose of statin, the LDL goal set has been less than 40 milligrams %. Then, in primary prevention, for individuals at very high risk, that is with another risk factor, but without evidence of ASCVD, even for primary prevention in such a scenario and situation, the same goal of LDL-C is considered, that is less than 55 milligrams % or LDL-C reduction of more than 50% from the baseline. So for those patients who are at high risk, but not very high risk, an LDL-C reduction of more than 50% from the baseline and an LDL-C reduction or goal of 70 milligrams % is recommended. And for those individuals who are at moderate risk of getting CVD events, LDL-C goal of less than 100 milligrams % is considered. Now, in achieving these goals, we do face challenges to achieve these goals. That is, first is failure to achieve the goal. Substantial residual risk still remains even if you achieve the goal. Now, it has been observed that in more than 50% of patients, even after the optimum lowering of LDL-C is not achieved within 2 years, and these patients will definitely experience significantly increased risk of future CVD events. This has been a study published in Heart 2019. And, LDL-C goal of 100 milligrams % could be achieved in almost 70% of patients who were on atorvastatin or rosuvastatin. And this study was from the analysis of database of almost 4 lakhs of patients. So almost 60 to 70% of patients. So there is a failure for goal attainment in 30 to 40% patients even after titration of statins. So there is a treatment algorithm for pharmacological LDL-C lowering published by ESC in 2019. And those patients in whom the therapy is indicated, you have to define the treatment goal for that particular patient, and high potency statin in highest recommended dose is given if it is tolerable to the patient. Now, after a time interval, you should reassess the patient and see on follow-up whether the patient has achieved the goal or not. If the patient has not achieved the goal, then you have to add ezetimibe at this stage. And even after adding ezetimibe, after some interval, if the patient has not achieved the LDL-C goal, then consider adding PCSK9 inhibitor. So what I want to stress upon is, the role of PCSK9 inhibitor comes at this stage when the LDL-C goal is not achieved with the combination of statin and ezetimibe. And if the patient is not indicated, there is no indication to give drugs, then only lifestyle modification is good enough. Coming to the ACC and AHA guidelines, there is an algorithm for secondary prevention in clinical ASCVD. Of course, healthy lifestyle is important in all patients. And those patients who are not at very high risk, but under the age of 75 years, high intensity statin to achieve a goal of less than 50%, more than 50% reduction of LDL from baseline is advisable and recommended. However, if on maximum statin therapy, the LDL-C of more than 70% or is still remains, or the goal of 70% is not achieved, then at this stage, you consider adding ezetimibe to the already prescribed statin therapy. And, if those patients who are at very high risk ASCVD, high intensity or maximum statin is given, and ezetimibe is a reasonable addition to the statin if the goal of 70 mg% is not achieved. And if PCSK is considered, then add ezetimibe first to maximum tolerable dose of statin, and then consider giving PCSK9 inhibitors. Ezetimibe has got dual action, endogenous as well as exogenous cholesterol lowering effect. When it is combined with statin, ezetimibe alone has action on small intestines. It inhibits the cholesterol absorption, dietary cholesterol absorption from the intestines, whereas statin will reduce the cholesterol by acting on HMG coenzyme A reductase, and it will inhibit that enzyme. However, if you give combination statin plus ezetimibe, then it will target two sources of cholesterol, thereby helping us to bring down the levels early. The recommended lipid-lowering therapy combinations are statin plus ezetimibe and statin plus PCSK9 inhibitors. This is a wonderful slide to show the robust reduction of LDL-C by PCSK9 inhibitors. It reduces the LDL-C by almost 60%. However, if you see the combination of high-intensity statin and ezetimibe, it also reduces the LDL-C by 60%. Whereas if you use three molecules like statins, ezetimibe, and PCSK9 inhibitors, the LDL-C reduction is almost to the tune of 80 to 85%. So even if the PCSK9 inhibitor is a strong molecule to reduce the LDL-C by 60%, if you use a low-cost combination of ezetimibe and statin, it will also serve the purpose of reducing LDL-C by 60%. Now, the percent change in LDL-C with the combination of rosuvastatin and ezetimibe has been studied in ROSETTE study, and it was observed that almost 57% of patients, there was 57% change in LDL-C in rosuvastatin and ezetimibe group compared to rosuvastatin alone. Whereas in almost 92% of patients, they could achieve the LDL-C goal with the combination of rosuvastatin and ezetimibe compared to rosuvastatin alone. Next slide, please. Now, coming to the event reduction, in addition to the lipid lowering effect of ezetimibe. Next slide, please. IMPROVE-IT trial has shown the cardiovascular death, non-fatal MI, non-fatal stroke reduction has been significant in combination of simvastatin and ezetimibe compared to simvastatin alone. And this study was carried out almost on 18,000 of patients. Now, apart from the lipid lowering effects, the rosuvastatin and ezetimibe benefits beyond lipids are reduction in inflammatory markers, and there is a reduction in the plaque burden. So, as you know, hsCRP is a stronger marker for prediction of CVD, and levels of hsCRP more than 3 milligrams per liter are associated with 60% greater risk of future cardiovascular events. And thus, the hsCRP is a strong predictor and marker of future CVD events. And ezetimibe reduces the CRP levels in patients with hypercholesterolemia. And when you use ezetimibe with simvastatin, the reduction of CRP is to the tune of 33% compared to only 12% with ezetimibe or only 8% with simvastatin. And ezetimibe also suppresses the macrophage accumulation in atherosclerotic lesions. Then ezetimibe is known to reduce the tumor necrotizing factor alpha in combination when it is used in combination with statin. And this is a meta-analysis of 23 controlled trials. It significantly reduces the tumor necrotizing factor alpha. A lipoprotein associated phospholipase A2. It's a gene, it's an enzyme which is very important. It is potentially important pathogenic factor participating in the progression of atherosclerosis. And this positively has correlation with increased risk of coronary artery disease and stroke. And next slide, please. It has been observed that reductions in LPPL-A2 were observed to be significantly greater with rosuvastatin and ezetimibe compared with monotherapy. And in subgroup, whether the patient was male or female, above the age of 65 or below the age of 65, diabetic, non-diabetic, smoker, non-smoker, the rosuvastatin and ezetimibe combination reduced this LPPL-A2 significantly, thereby giving the benefit. Ezetimibe is again suitable in diabetics. The Niemann-Pick, next slide please. Yeah, this one. Niemann-Pick C1-like-1. It's a gene in diabetes. It's known to absorb more cholesterol from the intestines. Rosuvastatin and ezetimibe definitely helps to reduce the plaque burden in coronary artery disease. The pre-treatment plaque burden was reduced from 73% to 62% with the combination therapy, and the plaque cross-sectional area was reduced from 10 to 5 millimeters square with the combination of rosuvastatin and ezetimibe compared to only rosuvastatin. So combination works well even for reduction in the plaque burden and improving the cross-sectional area. Now, these are some of the pictures of IVUS study, which definitely shows pre-treatment and post-treatment increase in the lumen with the treatment of ezetimibe and rosuvastatin. Compared with rosuvastatin alone, ezetimibe and rosuvastatin helps to correct the abnormal lipid profile. It not only reduces the total cholesterol, reduces the LDL cholesterol to a great extent, reduces the triglyceride, and helps to increase the HDL. Now, dear friends, who can be benefited from statin plus ezetimibe combination? These are the guidelines given by ACC in 2018. Those patients who are in high cardiovascular risk for primary prevention, in severe primary hypercholesterolemia, in heterozygous family history, and in diabetics with a 10-year ASCVD risk of 20% or higher, and in CKD with 10-year ASCVD risk of 7.5% or higher. All these patients could be immensely benefited with the combination of statin and ezetimibe. Last two slides. So, dear friends, 2019 ASC guidelines for the management of dyslipidemia. Lipid-lowering therapy in patients with chronic kidney disease with ezetimibe has been shown to be useful in CKD patients in stage 3 to 5. And even in peripheral artery disease or peripheral vascular disease, maximum tolerated dose of statin plus ezetimibe combination may be given to reduce the risk of ASCVD events and burden. Maximum utility of rosuvastatin and ezetimibe is very important due to very high cost of PCSK inhibitors, number one, and limited data and evidence on their long-term safety effect. Second point, the use of these agents should be reserved for selected very high-risk patients with persistent elevation of LDL-C, which is despite maximum tolerated dose of statin and ezetimibe, because cost is a very important factor for all of us. Ezetimibe should be considered in the first-line non-statin therapy. It has a dual inhibition of both sources of cholesterol when combined with statin. It helps to additionally reduce LDL. It reduces the plaque burden, improves the plaque stability, decreases hsCRP interleukin 6. There is a greater reduction of LDL-C than up titration of other statin monotherapy and combination therapy, and it is recommended almost by all the guidelines. Dear friends, it has been said that small plants don't grow under the big trees like banyan tree. So the ezetimibe has failed to grow under the hype of statins. But ezetimibe is a wonderful molecule, and it should be given before you even give PCSK9 inhibitor. Thank you so much for the patient listening.